depends on the size of bead you pick, right?
That's right. So they're large enough to be excluded
Mm-hmm.
by the bead. In other words, they're larger than the exclusion limit
Yes.
of the bead.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So the void volume, right, has molecules greater than the exclusion limit of the bead,
Okay.
right? Their elution volume is equal to the void volume. They came out in the void volume.
The elution volume will.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, so let's say the void volume was 5 milliliters. Right? When
Mhm.
5 milliliters came out, you
Mhm.
would have completely had an entire void volume come out.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that comes out in that same drop has an elution volume that's equal to the void volume,
Okay.
and those would be the molecules that are excluded from the beads.
Okay. And your sample is present in that?
Your sample will never come out before that,
Right.
right? Because it has to
Uh-huh.
go through the entire column,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
Right? So, so let's contrast that with bed volume, right?
Mm-hmm.
The bed volume is the volume inside and outside the beads.
So that's the whole column?
The entire column volume, both
Okay.
inside and outside, okay? And so there are some molecules that are going to have access to that entire bed volume.
Mm-hmm.
They can get into the beads, they can stay outside of the beads, they have access to that entire bed volume.
Okay.
So they're going to come out much later, right?
So that'd be one of your is the bed volume the last volume to come out?
It
When
is.
Okay.
It is the
Okay.
last
It
volume to
is
come out.
the last
That's
one.
exactly right. So it is the last elution volume, right?
Mhm.
Now remember, these beads have a fractionation range. Okay, let's make up a number. Let's say the fractionation range is 5,000 to 100,000.
Okay.
Okay, anything that is larger than 100,000, right,
Mm-hmm.
is going to be excluded from the beads.
This would be in the void.
Will end up in the void volume.
Okay.
Anything that's smaller than 5,000 will have access to the entire internal volume.
So that would be in the bed volume.
They'll come out in the bed volume.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
which of those comes out first?
The void volume.
Yeah, so first you have the void volume come out, and then you have a whole bunch of fractions, and then you have the bed volume come out.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
Anything that is greater than, in this instance, 100,000, all going to come out in the void volume.
Okay.
Anything that's smaller than, in this case, 5,000, is all going to come out in the bed volume.
Got it.
And then
Okay.
you get effective separation in between.
And that's where you can find your sample.
Yeah, so if your sample comes out, if your sample's elution volume is the void volume, what can you tell me about that molecule?
We would know the size of it.
And how big is it?
100,000
Or bigger?
or larger.
That's
Okay.
right.
And that's in Daltons, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if it were to come out in the bed volume, what can you tell me about it?
It's 5,000 or smaller?
Or smaller, that's right. And then, of course, all these fractions represent something in between.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so we use this to determine the size of the beta-galactosidase,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
If it was any kind of a multimer, right? If it was a dimer, a trimer, a tetramer, right? It would
Mhm.
come out in the void volume,
Right.
right? if it was a monomer, right, it would have some access to the beads and it would come out sometime after the void volume.
That was when we traced it, it was yellow, right? Is that-
Well, so what we did, in order to know where the void volume was, we put in a molecule that was really big, 2 million, called blue dextran,
Right.
right? And that
Okay,
was blue.
Yeah.
And we also had included in there a molecule that was really, really tiny, phenol red,
Mhm.
only 390, right? So this
Yeah.
was red, right? And so we had to ask ourselves, did the beta-galactosidase come out with the blue, or did it come out after the blue?
Came out a little bit after the blue.
And the way that we knew where it was is we did an assay for it, right? We added the substrate,
Yeah.
the ONPG,
Mhm.
and saw where the yellow color appeared.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So if the yellow color was produced in the same sample that was blue, what would that mean about the beta-galactosidase?
I think that meant that it wasn't present, or it was present, but it was large.
How
Yeah.
large?
Very large.
Very large.
It's very
Like,
large.
Yeah, it would be in the
right,
void
so it
volume.
would have been a large molecule, a
Quaternary
quaternary
structure,
right?
right? If the activity eluded
Mhm.
after the void volume,
Mhm.
we would know that it was a monomer,
Right. Okay.
right? Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. That makes sense. Those were my big questions, but I'm
Okay.
gonna dig up some more, so.
Yeah.
And this is the fractionation range,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So you're getting effective separation between the void volume and the bed volume.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
You want that?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Hey.
Questions?
Yeah,
My questions.
we just had some really good ones.
Oh, awesome. Excuse me, I'll get over here and get my backpack out of the way.
That's it?